this, I believe, is Hardman stage. Let me show you the rush coil, just because, well, there's not a lot of places to use it, and here's one of them. So that's a good excuse to bring it out. And let me show you what the magnet missile does. Well, let me get away from these bees, and then I'll show you. Oh, you want to slide over these platforms? I will find a good place to use the magnet missile, I promise, folks. But this is just not it. See, we have those giant retractable claws that pop from the ground. You want to slide quickly to get past them. Here's Joe, who has his hammer. I believe his name is Hammer Joe. You can only hurt it just when it's about to throw the hammer. Okay, here's a good place to show what the magnet missile does. Here we have some orangutan enemy. The magnet missile works like this. It works sort of like a homing missile and can defeat enemies that are on the ceiling. It works good for these particular enemies because they're rather difficult to fight. See these shots that should be hitting but don't hit? What happens is the gorilla just bounces on the ground and just bounces around like a maniac, being very hard to hit and basically being very annoying. Very hard to defeat because it takes a lot of shots in order to kill that particular enemy. Here, another good place to use the rush coil. Actually, you probably didn't have to use the rush coil there. Oops, what about that ape-like enemy? Extra life! Yes, you did have to use the rush coil. The rush coil or the rush jet. I'm going to avoid that health upgrade. And here, as you can see, this is what the ape-like enemy does. Basically just gets in the way. To defeat these enemies, or that particular enemy, you want to shoot the hard hat, or the metal, as it's called in this game. And here's our boss, Hardman. And I, like a total fool, used up all my magnet missile energy. Great! Anyway, as you can see, Hardman can be relatively easy to defeat without any special weapons whatsoever. Oh no, my magnet missiles miss? Not cool. Oh, I just got in a bad position there where he had me so I couldn't run to the right and dodge. But in any case, I managed to defeat him without using any special weapons or an energy tank, so I guess Hardman should change his name to Relatively Easy Man, because that fight was relatively easy instead of hard. Yeah, I really didn't need to explain that joke, but I felt like explaining it anyway. And you get the hard knuckle for defeating Hardman. Next up, Mega Man is going to fight Top Man! Oops. Let's fill up the metal blade. And here we're underwater for no apparent reason besides the fact that we need to use the Rush Marine. You can learn the jumping challenge, or just use the Rush Marine to get through this area. You already have the Rush Marine, you couldn't get to Top Man stage without getting the Rush Marine. From Metal Man, I believe it was. So you have the Rush Marine, you probably haven't used it that much, so use it there. Oh, Killer Kitty. Let's use Airman's weapon. Airman's weapon doesn't work? Okay, fine. Hard Knuckle. The Hard Knuckle creates a fist that you can use to shoot at enemies. I don't believe I've shown what Crash Man's weapon does. I mean, Clash Man's weapon. It shoots out the Clash Bombs. I don't need that extra life. Excellent place for the metal blade. And then there's that kitty again. Let's just slide past it. And I would get that energy tank, except I'm completely full of energy tanks, so I can't use it. The game only lets you collect 4 energy tanks. And you can jump to that platform without using the rush coil, but I was unable to do so. If you die, you restart on that platform. So you won't have to make that jump if you die. There's an area where you have to do a bunch of jumping. Or just use the rush jet to skip through the area. Good place to just stand in place and kill those enemies to get a bunch of power-ups. And here's Top Man. Just like in the NES version, he's kind of a pushover. You shoot these tops at you, then spin and spin at you. You can easily dodge the tops by, say, going to the right or left. Wow, I'm not dodging those tops at all. Okay. Say you can slide to the left or the right. Wow, I died on Top Man. Okay, everybody, just completely forget about the fact that I died on Top Man, okay? I promise you, he does have an easy-to-defeat pattern. Just slide to get out of the way of these things. Whenever he spins, he's invulnerable. That means he can't be hit. Just in case you didn't know what invulnerable means, that's what it means. As you can see, the Plasma Buster does a lot of damage to him. But his weakness is the Hard Knuckle. So if you want to get through the fight quickly, just hit him with the Hard Knuckle a couple times. Alright, I got the top spin.